Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, we are going to be talking about Bitcoin. And more specifically, we're going to be talking about the cardinal sin of selling Bitcoin. In fact, in this video, I just want to have a little heart-to-heart with you. We're not going to go over any news articles. We're not even going to talk about any technicals, except for the fact that Bitcoin is rallying quite a lot. And because it's rallied so much, and because Cardano's up 50%, because Ethereum's up 50%, because Bitcoin's up 50%, a lot of people are wondering whether or not they should take profits. Tell me in the chat and in the comment section down below if that's you. Are you wondering, should I take profits right now? Should I exit my positions and walk away with the gains I've made because I was so blessed as to buy in at $32,000 or $33,000? If that's you, let me know down below, because that's a lot of people right now. And I want to address that crowd because I think there's a big audience of people that are wondering, should I sell? Because we've seen such a massive decline in price action over the last 3 months. Now we've finally seen some gains. Should I take my profits and walk? It's a good question, and it's a question that deserves a respectful and serious response, so that's what we're going to do here. Before we even get into that, I would encourage you to remember why Bitcoin was created in the first place. I know I talk about this a lot, but it's the job of a leader to continually remind their followers why they do what they do and the fundamentals of where they came from. Bitcoin was created to take back control of our financial destiny from those who stole it from us. That's why our mission statement here at McAfee Media, the company that I run that supports all the employees that build this channel, I love them very much. Thank you to every single one of them. Our mission statement is to help you take back control of your destiny from those who stole it from you. That's what we stand for. If you subscribe to this channel, that's why you're here. Bitcoin was created to do that with your financial destiny. We're doing the same thing. Bitcoin was created because over the last 150 years that we've been slowly but surely going away from the gold standard. We started going away from the gold standard a lot earlier than 1971 when Nixon officially took us off of it, by the way. When we did that, and we started seeing 2% inflation year over year, and we've seen the US dollar lose 98% of its value in 100 years, you know what that means, right? It means that if you are holding money in the US dollar, if you're holding value in the US dollar, and you hold on to it for 10 or 20 years, you're slowly getting taxed not just by your income tax, not just by your state and payroll taxes, you're also getting taxed by inflation. Because when the government prints money, it either goes to the government themselves so that they're able to fund more and more lavish and expensive projects, or it goes to the big banks. Because if you didn't know, one of the ways that inflation happens is not through physical dollar printing. There's a lot more US dollars in existence than there are physical cash-backed US dollars. It's about 10%, I want to say, is physical, and the rest of it is just digital dollars, the digital representation of the US dollar. I'm not talking about CBDC. I'm just talking about dollars on a screen in a bank somewhere. The Federal Reserve can go in and say, okay, we're just going to give $100 million to Bank XYZ, and we're going to have bonds given out so that we pay for that. That's how inflation occurs. And inflation has been speeding up over the last 10, 15 years, ever since the U.S. government and the European Union and Japan and several other major nations with very powerful currencies started doing something called QE, quantitative easing. Quantitative easing is a newer idea in economics and federal government budgeting that if you inject money into the economy, it creates liquidity, it gets the engines of economics driving, and then it pulls you out of recessions. The problem is it also causes inflation, and you borrow from the future to pay for the now, and that is why Bitcoin was created. A lot of people think that Bitcoin was created in response to the 2008 financial crisis, but Bitcoin took a long time to develop before it finally launched on January 3rd, 2009. The financial crisis was not why Bitcoin was created. The financial crisis was a symptom of what Bitcoin was created to solve, which is inflation. Bitcoin was created to solve the biggest existential threat that we have to modern humanity. And I don't say that lightly. Here's why I say that. If you study any culture throughout history, any one of them, pick any one of them that fell, every single culture eventually goes through a major decline. Let's pick the Roman Empire, for example. When the Roman Empire was at its peak, they started clipping their coins. They started doing something called debasement. If you've ever heard the concept of debasement and you didn't know what that means, debasement just means you devalue and you remove the value of something, and then you spread the money out. Inflation is the way that you debase a currency. The Romans started debasing their currency by lowering the amount of gold and silver content in the denarius, I believe was the name of their currency. They started lowering the gold and silver content so they could create more of the coins so that they could have more money. But if they've ever, I guess they hadn't because it was, 200 AD. But if they understood the second law of thermodynamics, energy cannot be created nor destroyed, nor can value in the economy necessarily be created or destroyed. It can be harvested, but it can't be created out of thin air by creating more money. Why does this have to do with the idea of selling Bitcoin? Well, we have to remember the long game if we're going to play the long game. My father once told me you can't sing the blues unless you've lived the blues. I've lived the blues, which is why I sing them and I tell you guys about them. But you also can't sing and play the long game unless you understand the long game. The long game here has nothing to do with AMC adopting Bitcoin like we saw earlier today and announcing it for later on this year. The long game has nothing to do with Elon Musk or Tesla or SpaceX or Intercontinental Exchange launching Bakkt or Starbucks. It has nothing to do with any of that. The long game has to do with you and me. The long game has to do with us having control over our financial destiny the way that God intended it. That's what Bitcoin is all about. So if you're thinking about selling your Bitcoin now and taking your profits because you're excited that the last 3 months we have seen a major downtrend and now we're seeing a big uptrend, if you're a swing trader, go for it. Maybe we're going to see a correction, maybe we're not. I don't really care, but I'm not looking to sell my position, and I'm also not looking to sell my position at $65,000. I didn't sell the Bitcoin I had when we hit $20,000 back on December 17, 2017. I was here. I had a couple $100 in Bitcoin. I was 17 years old. I could have sold it and gone and bought myself a Gucci necklace or something. I didn't do that because I understood the technology. I understood why I was here. I understood the future that this could bring, and it has completely revolutionized my life. And the reason that I was able to do that is not because of Bitcoin. It was because I invested in myself. And I realized the power of investing in Bitcoin. It's a critical difference. Bitcoin is the future of finance. Period, full stop. Decentralized finance from DeFi is going to be a big part of it as well. We are living in the history books right now, guys. People are going to write about what we're doing right now 10, 15, 20, 30 years from now when the world looks different. They're going to look back on us and they're going to say, this is where it started. And you're not going to want to miss that train. Because if you do, you don't get to go back. The train's gone. The corporations can say, come back here, train, I missed it. We can't do that. We're the retail. We don't have that ability. So we need to make sure we make the most of the opportunities that have been afforded to us. If you're looking to sell Bitcoin right now because you're up 50% and you're excited because you managed to buy the dip, I would encourage you, make sure you have at least half of your cryptocurrency in an investment portfolio. I always encourage people, I'm not a financial advisor, but this is what I've learned through my own experience. If you're trading, never have more than 50% of your entire crypto balance sheet in a trading portfolio. Keep at least half of it in investment. Truthfully, you should probably always keep your trading less than 20% of all of your net worth in cryptocurrency. Stay here for the long run, guys. You're going to be very glad you did, because if you leave right now, or if you sell right now and you cash out and you go buy your Lamborghinis and your private island so you can pop champagne corks, you're going to regret it, because you're going to leave money on the table that could have been yours. How many people sold Bitcoin when it rallied to $2 for the first time because they bought it for nothing? They could have been billionaires right now. How many people did that? Just one final thought. If you've been here for a long time and you bought Bitcoin down in the 3 or maybe even the 4 digits, I bought Bitcoin for the first time when it was trading at $3,000. Tell us in chat, do you regret selling it? Because I have a feeling you did. Most people that bought Bitcoin down there didn't hold it because they saw a big gain and they couldn't wait. They could not wait, so they sold it, and now they regret it. Tell us down in the chat if you're one of those people. I am too. I bought Bitcoin at 3K. I traded it for other stuff. I don't, money goes. Stay here for the long run. You're going to be glad you did. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to smash that like button and also consider subscribing to the channel. We're turning into one of the fastest growing crypto channels here in the ecosystem. And the reason is because it's our mission to bring you guys high quality informational and educational content 7 days a week. We go live 9:30 Eastern Standard Time for Coffee and Crypto every single morning. And we're moving into a new office with a new studio. There's going to be about 8 times this current studio size. We're launching new shows, building new products, releasing new things, and I can't wait to share it all with you. Anyway, guys, if you're looking forward to all that, make sure to sign up for the webinar also. We've only got, I think, 12 seats left, so make sure to check that out. Link's in the description box down below. Anyway, guys, that's going to wrap it out for today's video. Thank you for the heart-to-heart talk. I really enjoyed this. Before I go, though, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.